Hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the FC Köln career mode here on FIFA 20. We head into the January transfer window today. I have a number of names on my shortlist for players to come in. As you can see there, bottom left, the loan for Bodu has expired. I will try and get him back in if I can. Terodde's been injured for 5 days, but hopefully he'll be back for the next game, or he'll be available to be sold between now and the next game. We are going to try and get Bodu back on loan if we can, considering he was a minimal expense for us. I'm going to reject that loan offer for Beda. In fact, I must have already done the same, or accepted or done something to it. That's an old email. Scout reports, we can have a look at those. Also, there's a message from a player from Timo Haas who thinks he needs a loan move. Fair enough. Right, now I'll show you the names I've got on my transfer list. I did have a number more, but a lot of the players that were suggested had already transferred or were already on loan in this season. So I've had to just remove them and can't really prioritise them as potential signings. Danilo is just an extra player to potentially have a look at. For Bochum, played well against us. They knocked us out of the cup. And obviously, I could utilise Jonas Hector at centre mid as a higher rated, better all-round centre mid. And sign a better left back, something that we could potentially do in a future season. Looking at players like Benito Raman at striker, although I believe he's on loan currently, which he is. So again, I might have to call my interest on him. Jonathan David is another name, 5-star weak foot on him, very, very fast. Danny Olmo for the cam role, where Schaub is currently playing at Dinamo Zagreb. And we've got Robin Kaison. I don't know anything about him. A number of these players I've either not heard anything about or only ever seen in suggestions, but never actually fully scouted or had a proper look at. A player like that is Emmanuel Dennis. Physically looks like he's going to be very good, but technically I'm still unsure. Rafael Leao is a player that's only just gone to Milan, but I might be able to loan him. Waiting to see what his stats and obviously his financial situation is like. Nicolas Gonzalez, I don't know anything about him. Physically looks pretty good though. Mateus Cunha is obviously one of the options for the League SBC in Ultimate Team for the Bundesliga. I don't know what his physical stats look, although Osimhen is obviously very, very fast and great physically. He's only just joined Lille supposedly, but we might be able to loan him maybe. Facundo Ferreira, don't know anything about him. We'll wait and see. Jan Hurtado, again, don't know anything about him. We'll wait and see. Joshua Zirkzee, 6'4" and supposedly quite quick at just 18 years of age. Could be a good loanee. Edouard at Celtic. Don't know anything about him. And then Emil Smith-Rowe is another, including Rodrigo as well. It says I've gone in for him. That was just accidental. And they wanted £94,000 a week wage-wise for him. So probably not going to be able to get Rodrigo. But he is still a potential option if we are able to figure out something else. And I'll have a look at signing Bodu again on loan, as we of course look to move out. They're now not interested in loaning him whatsoever. Right, well I won't get Bodu back on loan then. So we have Terodde and Anthony Modesta on the transfer list. At the present, John Cordoba is staying. Can't really seem to get anyone to agree a contract with Simon Terodde so far. I've altered the formation. We're playing what was a 4-4-1-1 by default, and I've moved Schaub further forward. I moved Schindler further forward. I've moved Kainz further forward, and Cotsiello and Skiri just a little bit further back to try and add a little bit more support to the main striker, which is something that you guys recommended in the comment section of the last episode, reckoning that a couple of the players, or a couple of my strikers when they're playing, were just slightly too far forward and didn't have much support. So we'll wait and see if we get any good results from making the tactical changes. I'm still unsure about a number of these youngsters. Jan Berm, 64 to 86. I'm just going to say no. I'm only going to get the best of the best when it comes to the youth prospects. And Bachmann might be that. There's no point. Whoa! 2.2 million at 14 years of age. Hello! Jeez! How good is he already? 61 rated at 14 years of age. Yes, please. Bachmann is the CDM as well. We've got 4 centre mids at the minute. That's all I seem to be signing as central midfielders. Maybe we need to look at other positions rather than just centre mids. We've got a couple of really good 14-year-olds though. Looking like we might be okay in that position. 6'6" goalkeeper. I'll sign him and start training him because we could certainly... Whoa, 29 to 39 potential. Sorry, mate. We could certainly do with a young goalkeeper that's regen just to free up wages and finances elsewhere. Nobody else here looking too spectacular. Daniel Brun. So I will add the young goalkeeper to my training regime after, so I can't do it now, after we've played this game against Bayer Leverkusen. Depending on how the month goes, a 1-year loan for Timo Haas, I'll accept that. I'm not sure what to do with regards how to play the month of January. I'm still contemplating splitting the month, having Leverkusen, Frankfurt and Wolfsburg today, and then Dortmund and Freiburg tomorrow, which I think I might well do. But we're going to go and play Bayer Leverkusen. The reason I haven't been, this was brought up in the comment section, the reason I haven't been doing too many press conferences is because currently on PC the game has a tendency to randomly crash when going into or coming out of a pre or post-match press conference. That's why I've been leaning away from going to too many conferences. But I'll save it here just to reduce the risk, and we'll go into this pre-match press conference before the game against Bayer Leverkusen and hopefully get ourselves a little boost to morale. Leverkusen not having the best seasons currently, 7th on 25 points. Dortmund and Bayern still looking the 2 strongest sides in the league, but certainly would have expected Leverkusen to be slightly higher up the league than they currently are. But we'll do this press conference. Your recent form suggests you'll be able to stay clear of the bottom of the tables. You have enough depth in your squad to maintain your momentum. I hope the whole squad can help us. There's certainly something that is true. We are going to need influences from more than just the starting 11. That's I wanted to skip my answer, not the next question. How would you put your previous win into context against Leverkusen? That close call will motivate us. I can't actually remember what the scoreline was against Leverkusen last time we played them. We haven't seen any new signings at FC Köln since the transfer window opened. Should we expect to see some new faces at the club? We do need more strength. I am looking to sign, and hopefully we'll be able to get something done in today's episode. Whether there be a loan deal or a permanent signing. What was the score last time we played Bayer Leverkusen? Right at the beginning of the... No. Well, why is it talking about Bayer Leverkusen then? Or have I just not seen it? I've not played them yet. Was it on about my last game in general? Maybe it was on about my last game in general against Werder Bremen. I might have just misread the question. Regardless, let's go and play Bayer Leverkusen. Alright, Leverkusen's 11. Kredetsky in goal. 3 at the back. Tar, Savic and Bender. Diaby, Aranguiz, Demirbay and Mitchell Weiser. Bailey and Havertz sat over side of Lars Bender at striker. Strange decision to play Lars Bender there, but they might be missing strikers through injury or through suspension, so I don't expect them, well, to be fair, you're going to expect Havertz and Leon Bailey to be pushing on forward past Lars Bender there, so maybe it's a different tactic to try and throw me from the manager. Lars Bender being used maybe as a hold-up player to have those two run off him and still cause me plenty of difficulties offensively. There is Kai Havertz driving forward, but Jonas Hector does well, not once but twice. Leon Bailey does turn and get that to Lars Bender, and that is a hell of a block from Ezebue to ensure that we don't go 1-0 down early doors. Now can Skiri set up some sort of counter-attack? Cordoba's rather reluctant to get running, but we could slot the ball out wide. It's a terrible pass. It's one thing we do need to get into the club is people that are better at passing of the football, because it's costing us opportunities time and time again, and you guys have noticed it in the comment section as well. The poor passing ability of our side is very evident. An offside there to save us the opportunity of Leverkusen going 1-0 in front again, but thankfully Timo Horner saved it regardless. Kites can't get past the man on the left-hand side. We mentioned earlier on that Leverkusen are 7th and slightly perhaps underperforming so far this season. We'll wait and see if we can compound their misery and actually close to what would be within 2 points of them if we are able to get victory here. Hector, down the line there to Kites. Mitchell Weiser is quite handy as a defensive player, so might fill in at right back at times when they need the extra body back there. But I'm hoping with their 3 at the back, we could cut them apart, and we've done exactly that, but through the middle. I was meaning out wide. John Cordoba played in behind, an early taken shot, beats Koretsky, and we go 1-0 up here against Leverkusen inside 20 minutes or so. Yes, please. Very pleased with that. We'll have a look at the replay. Literally, as I'm talking about cutting them open out wide, we just break through the middle. It's a clean strike from Cordoba. Does take it fairly early, and perhaps that catches the keeper out as he's trying to advance to him. He can't get set, and he's buried it. We will very happily, very happily, take that 1-0 lead. Lovely ball out wide looking for Diaby, but he might have overhit that. No, he's kept that in nicely. Oh, and Jonas Hector's attempted clearance first time. Very neat, caused me some problems there. Kites has dropped back defensively. Mitchell Weiser trying to get past him and does so really nicely. And I committed there when I thought it was going to go the other way. Here's Demirbay. Cross there to Kai Havertz, who's forced a little bit further wide here. And nicely done by Jonas Hector. I'll get that to Florian Kites if I can. And we've got numbers forwards here. Cordoba needs to be wary of the offside line. And he was, but unfortunately so wary of it that he ran too far the other way. Schindler looking for Kites at the back post. Mitchell Weiser tracking back. We said he might do that and be an extra body back there. Can we do something from the set piece? It's whipped well. Cordoba could be underneath this. It could drop for someone. It's punched away by the keeper or headed away by Stefan Savic. I'm not sure which. It'll fall for Leon Bailey, but we've still got them pinned in their own box or their own half for the time being. Although that's probably a yellow card for a rather cynical foul to deny them the counter-attack. Hopefully we can hold out till half-time. And then hopefully after that we can hold out till full-time. Driving forward Jonas Hector from left-back. Get it around the corner there. Mitchell Weiser has dropped back. You can see it's almost the back 4 there. Florian Kites will stand the ball into the middle. Oh, and it'll reach Jonas Hector. I didn't think it was going to. Hector! Just a clash of legs in there in the box and eventually gets the ball struck cleanly or towards goal. But unfortunately, not quite as accurate as it needed to be. We haven't had much possession here. We haven't had much possession all season because the side isn't really built of players that suit my personal style of play. I am having to adjust the way... I am having to adjust the way that I play with this Köln side, but we're certainly getting better as we progress through the season. We won on the opening day and then went a long while without a victory in the Bundesliga. But if we can hold on to this result, that would be back-to-back wins for us in domestic league competition, and hopefully it can spark a really good positive run of form that may yet, provided we can keep it going, may yet see us trouble the Europa League spots. We'll have to keep it going and be very good between now and the end of the season, but with the right addition or two in this window, whether that be permanent or loan, we are certainly going to have to rely on some loan signings this season, as we have done with Bodo already, because of the lack of finances at the club at this stage of the series. So, is that a foul for... Oh, thankfully. It was a really dangerous position if that was the other way. Mitchell Weiser going off. Paulinho coming on. So, hopefully, we can hold on to this result and build on it and really mount a challenge in the second half of the season. But it's not going to be an easy task. Florian Kites could send Cozziello away here, though. Demirbay trying to close me down, but he's not quite fast enough to do so. I see the man on the edge of the box. Oh, Cordoba went for the diving header. That was Schindler even, I think, from right mid. Right wing, actually, as he's down now as a default right winger as we pushed him further forward in the formation. Manually editing it. Certainly seen more support for John Cordoba in this game so far with the changes we made to the formation. I'm going to take Skiri off because he's booked. I don't want to run the risk of him getting sent off. And then... missing Bodu's pace now, really. Let's give Drexler a go at Cam and see if he can come in, do something for Shell. But certainly, either with signings in this window or in the summer, we need an injection of pace or multiple injections of pace into this team to try and give me, if I am going to have to rely on counter-attacks, I'm going to need to be better in possession, and I'm going to need to be more rapid with how I move the ball from back to front, because I don't have that pace outside of my players on the right-hand side. Regardless, we're not going to be getting the win here by the looks of things, as they've pulled it back to 1-1 now. Nice finish. Unfortunately, Paulinho's come off the bench and had the impact his manager hoped he would. 13 minutes to go. It's now 1-1. Tiabi, Ezebue is taking it off him. Schindler played in. There's Drexler, and Cordoba's going to keep that run going. And he's in behind here. Stefan Savic is running low on stamina. Cordoba! No! Oh, I settled myself and everything. I slowed down, settled myself, and he struck the outside the post. Can you believe it? They're making a change as Demirbay goes off, so we're not going to see a replay. Oh, man. I thought that was the moment. I thought that was the moment we were going to win the game. Back here to Cozziello. Could he win it for us? He struck it well enough, but no power on it. Goretzky with the diving save, and we'll stay at 1-1 as we tick over into stoppage time. Just 2 minutes added on at the end of the second 45. And we're going to have to settle for a point here against a side that are better than us, I have to be honest. But after being 1-0 up early-ish and holding on for so long and coming so close to a second, I'm frustrated that we haven't won that game there. Really positive performance, though. Certainly felt the difference with the changes we made to the positioning of the players with the formation. It kind of still looks like a 4-2-3-1 because I've moved the two wide players further forward in that 4-4-1-1. Definitely, Cordoba had some more support in that. Skiri's continuing his hot run of form. How satisfied were you with his performance today? Must keep the momentum going for sure, especially if we're contemplating moving Jonas Hector into a central midfield position. The match against your rival ended in a draw. How did you find this match? We should have scored. No, congratulations to both teams. I don't want to be too harsh on the side there. They certainly earned that, John. It actually didn't dawn on me that Leverkusen is just down the road from Köln, so it was actually a local derby. Surely you must be pleased with the draw against a high-ranked team. Definitely. We should have won it. We were evenly matched. We should have won it, but the players don't deserve that negative drop in morale because they certainly earned that result. We're unfortunate, in fact, perhaps, to not get the victory that I feel we should have gotten. Right, let's. We're still sat in 10th there. I want to try and trouble the. European spots if we can. I'm going to start training Van der Linden here. It's always positioning with goalkeepers. It's terribly low comparatively to everything else. Annoyingly. Can't train any more of his goalkeeping stats. Can apparently train his free kicks. So can you imagine we get an absolute shield there? That'd be cool. That'd be so cool if we can get if there was a goalkeeper with good goalkeeping, with good free kick stats. That'd be mental. We do have another young 19-year-old, Julian Kral. So I'll train him as well. Actually, I'll train him as well, and hopefully we can see some growth from two young goalkeepers, and maybe get ourselves some money from one of them further down the line. Basically have the same outcome, don't they? And then I'll just throw anyone else on this. Try to still out injured. Hopefully we can get him back and he'll move on sooner rather than later. Let's train Cherlinov. He has that promising player little symbol, so I'll train his acceleration and sprint speed because obviously they're still quite low, and if he's to do something at winger then he's going to need that pace. Let's just change that to say goalkeepers. Right, we'll train those guys and then push forward towards the next game. We should have some scout reports back soon as well, although whether they'll come back before the game against Frankfurt, I'm not entirely too sure because it's only a few days away, and indeed it won't. So away from home against Frankfurt coming up next. Kevin Trapp in goal for Frankfurt. Three at the back for them as well. Torre, Hasebe and Hinteregger. Koa sat in a CDM role. With then four, Kostic, Gasanovic, De Guzman and Balde, with Bastos and Andre Silva up top. Not sure how to approach this game. It looks more like a 3-5-2 laid out like that. just with the extra holding midfielder in the middle. They're going to be very, very hard to play against with that amount of players in the middle of the park, especially considering our players aren't necessarily the best at holding on to possession. And they're a good team, Frankfurt. Had a great season last year and are playing well again this year as well. So this is by no means an easy feat. They just battered Bayern by 5-1 in real life as well, although that was with Jerome Boateng getting sent off after like 9 minutes. But still, to be able to kick on and score 5 against Bayern, regardless of the fact they've got one less man, is still an impressive feat. They might have been going down to 10 men there with a rather rash challenge. We'll look to play through Schaub here, and I'll try and turn and get it back to John Cordoba. You can see the amount of white shirts flooding forward here. Definitely getting more support forward to the striker, but going to have to be wary of the counter-attack now. Andre Silva on the attack, the former AC Milan man. I think he's just on loan, isn't he, Andre Silva? I think. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Keita Balde, sorry, is a great signing for Frankfurt. Really good wide play. And Bastos scored 2 goals in his last game, according to the pre-match graphic. So we're going to have to be wary of him. Good goal scorer. Not the best for FIFA in terms of his physicality, or his pace at least. Very slow player, but still an effective goal scorer in real life. And hopefully we can keep him quiet. That's a lovely ball into Gacinovic. It's a good block by Skiri. It might drop for Gacinovic again. That's a great tackle by Jorge Mera. And on the counter-attack we come now. And this is where we haven't got the pace so far. Or still the passing ability. Core tackle falls to Gacinovic, but Skiri steps in. We're going to go wide right here. It's the obvious thing to do with Schindler. Wasn't the best of passes again. I see Schaub stood there in the middle. But it's a poor pass. Just need to be better in possession with this team. Well, Anton. Again, not necessarily the best pass. Trying to look for a teammate. It's really frustrating because, as you guys know, my regular play style is very heavily pass-based. Very heavily tiki-taka style football. But this is a lovely counter-attacking move so far. And Ezebue pushed forward from right back. Could have the massive impact. Dropped to Cozziello. Got caught from behind there, perhaps. I was taking the shot. And maybe we should have had a free kick there. Gets the shot away. It does get caught. I think we should have had a free kick on the edge of the box there. Regardless, we haven't. And after 25 minutes, it's goalless. Nice tackle by Anton. Just honed in on that ball like a laser. And took it off him. Here's Schaub. Foot stuck in by a Frankfurt defender, but Skiri will find Cordoba here, and a striker actually using his strength well. I tried to go back across goal with that effort, but Cordoba was just not good enough with his left foot to do that. That's going to go out for a throw in to me. Good opportunity that, and Cordoba at pace just couldn't quite work the angle with his weak foot, but we're being so much more positive going forward in today's episode. This is he loses possession rather poorly. Hopefully it won't be long with the right additions before we start scoring multiple goals in games rather than just averaging 1 per game. Get to that first, please. Well done, Florin. Wasn't the best of headers, but worked it nicely in the end. Shout to Cordoba. And Florian Kainz could be in here, but shock. Poor pass. Going to be 0-0 at half-time by the looks of things, unless Filip Kostic can do something for them right here, right now, which he might yet do. He's found Andre Silva and wary of Bastos in the middle. He's looked to the back post, but we've worked it away. We'll stay level at half-time. Down the line there to Schindler. I'm going to try and stretch them here a little bit. Schaub playing in behind. Had to just wait for the ball to arrive, but he's found Cordoba, and Sebe's come across and steps in well. Oh, man. That could really have been an early second-half lead for us. It could yet be. Schaub forward there to Cordoba. And looking for Cozziello, who seems rather reluctant to actually go towards the ball there, frustratingly. Nice tackle by Jorge Mera. Can we turn that around quickly? Cordoba. Oh, that's a cynical foul, just as we did in the first game, to stop Leverkusen on the counter-attack. Gacinovic does the same there to stop me doing something similar. They've made a change there as well. Maybe it would have been Gacinovic that went off there. It's a bit far out to try and shoot, so I'm going to have to try and play it into feet. I'll look for Cordoba. Well, that's not where the pass was aimed, was it? You guys could see where I aimed the pass with the yellow circle. Certainly wasn't looking for that player there, but Kainz finds Cotsiello. It's going to drop. We win that. Cordoba's header saved well by Kevin Trapp. Really handy goalkeeper, Kevin Trapp. It's going to take something better than that to beat him on this snowy Saturday. Actually, no, it's midweek this one, isn't it? Snowy Wednesday. Oh, lovely little back heel. Schaub. Lovely little back heel. Cotsiello again. Oh, probably a bit further wide than it looked. Cotsiello down there to Florian Kainz. Dortmund battering Leipzig here. But Florian Kainz is in behind, and I'll pull it. Win, 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 win. He's just not tried to win the ball at all there, Jorge Mera. And Jovelic finds Andre Silva, who kicks that straight at Timo Horn. I don't know why the defender didn't react to the ball there. I asked him to try and head it, and he's not gone anywhere near it. Schaub spinning well. Mera into Cotsiello. Cordoba. Schaub running off me. And returns it to John Cordoba from the edge of the box. Oh, off the post again! The post denied us a win against Leverkusen. Has it done the same here against Frankfurt? Really good hit. I'm certain that was a foul. Really good hit by Cordoba, finessing that towards the bottom corner. We'll play a 1-2 here, and he's in! And this time, John Cordoba scores again! Köln 1, Frankfurt 0. It's another goal. Whoa! Could have been dangerous for a certain part of his anatomy. John Cordoba scores again. Another goal in the 75th-ish minute, but this time, it might be enough for a victory for the side that scores it. Leverkusen earn themselves a point. That might sink Frankfurt. Court. Forward to Jovelic. Dinked out wide there to Baleketa, who's just dead stamina-wise. There's literally nothing left for him. He's still been able to get past me somehow. He's not going to be sprinting past anyone, but tricking his way around instead. Anton with a header away. Can Cordoba get to that first? He can, but he still kicked it straight against Sebastian Roda. Schindler on the counter. I'm just going to take my time here, is what I was saying. Try and ensure that we keep possession and get the victory. Kostic. Yes, adhesive weight. Well done, son. And accelerates away. Space inside again for a teammate. Schaub driving forward. We use Cotsiello first. Guess you go back to Schaub, but I can't sort his feet out quickly enough, and now I've left myself in trouble. Andre Silva around the corner to Fernandez. Back to Balde-Keita. Fernandez going backwards as well, though. We're defending this well enough so far. Just 2 minutes added on. Fernandez again forced into going backwards. Caught. In here to Sebastian Roda. No, he's played through Jovelic. Timo Horn with a big boy save right at the death. 3 points for Cologne. That's a massive victory. I would have loved the 3 points against Leverkusen as well, but to have gotten 4 points from 2 difficult games. Frankfurt and Leverkusen are 2 of arguably the top 6 teams in the league. Leverkusen definitely up there. And Frankfurt, you'd say, on the past season and a half's in real life effort, are certainly one of the best teams in the league as well. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. Wolfsburg have just lost at home to Schalke. We'll be simulating that game at the end of the episode, but we should get those scout reports back between now and that game. You managed to win a close match with the decisive goal in the second half. What do you think made the difference in today's game? We were the better team, 100%. Definitely were the better team. Cordoba grabbing another goal. This is his 8th of the Bundesliga season so far. You managed to turn the tide and find a decisive goal. Given there wasn't much to split the two sides leading up, did you have any doubts that you'd come away with the win? No, we were the better team, as we mentioned in the first question. Köln was one of the best players of the opposition today. How difficult was it to find a way past Frankfurt's line? It definitely wasn't easy. It took until the 75th minute to do so, but we did get through, and that's the most important thing. Really pleased with that. Right, moving forward towards the game against Wolfsburg, who are right with us in the league, actually, and there is a number of scout reports. I'm going to go and have a perusal, if you'll pardon the pun, with Peru giving me the international manager's job, or offering me the international manager's job, and then we'll have a look and see who we might potentially try and get. Right, all but 2 of the scout reports are back now. Danilo looks okay, but not incredible, so I don't think we'll be signing him at left back. We certainly don't have the money at present anyway. No bids for Terodde or Anthony Modesta so far. Really starting to get quite concerned that we're not actually going to be able to raise any extra funds this window. Benito Raman does look very, very fast, not that strong. but okay, technically. Certainly an improvement on what we've got, at least. So I might potentially try and sign him on loan. Although, actually, he might already be on loan. He is. I could approach to try and sign him on a free. That might be intriguing. 5 months left. He's 25 years of age. Only on £5 a week. That could be decent. 4-star weak foot as well. I'll keep that at the back of my mind. Jonathan David looks really good, actually. Cam striker. Decent finishing as well at 82. Certainly would be open to loaning him if they'll let me have him, which they won't. So I can't. And I definitely can't afford him at £35 million. So we'll remove him from the list. Danny Olmo is £56 million. I just can't. Robin Kaison, I don't know what to make of him. I don't know if he'd been an improvement on what I've got or if he's just kind of similar. He'd probably be better than Terodde and Anthony Modesta. But whether he'd actually add anything to the team with Cordoba in decent goal-scoring form, I'm not sure. Loaning him just isn't really an option for me right now. I'll leave him on the shortlist and wait for your feedback. I might do something with him next season if you reckon it's worth it. Emmanuel Dennis, physically is superb. Technically he's pretty decent as well. I certainly would be interested in loaning him, but I can't. I don't have the money to buy him. Rafael Leao. Now I definitely would look to loan because he's very, very handy. And we certainly could loan Rafael Leao in. So we will look to potentially do that. Meeting with the AC Milan manager. I'm not sure who is AC Milan manager in real life. You guys will have to let me know. Certainly only a short-term loan for the time being. And then hopefully next season we'll be able to actually sell the players that we're trying to sell, because it doesn't look like Terodde and Modesta are going to be able to be moved on this year. Right, I don't want to pay 100%, but everyone so far has asked for 100% of the wages of the players that we've been trying to sign. And they're rather reluctant to be paying any more than 20%. Please. I might have to pay all of Rafael Leao's wages, so I certainly like to avoid doing that. I'm going to have to pay 100%, aren't I? I'm going to have to pay 100%. It's still a good signing, though. And Rafael Leao will certainly give me another option up top, considering that Cordoba is playing well. Right, now, Nicolas Gonzalez, I don't know what to make of him. He's not that good at finishing at all, 70. But decent with the ball at his feet, 78 ball control, 81 dribbling, but his passing's not that good. I don't think he's quite at the level we'd want someone to be, so I'm going to say no to him for now. Cunha, again, looks decent, similar to Kaison, looks decent, but I'm not sure would actually add anything to the team. I could maybe use him at cam, but his passing's not that good. I'm intrigued, but I don't think now is the right time. I don't think now's the right time for Cunha. Ferreira is just a lump. Another big physical player that just doesn't suit my style of play. Osimhen, fast. Although it takes him a little while to get there. Can finish, 77. I'd be intrigued, but we've just got Leao, so I'll hold off. He's got a big release clause. Hurtado, we can't see his stats yet. And I don't know his valuation either. Zerki could be good in the future, but right now is nowhere near the level that we need. Edouard, waiting for the scout report on him as well, and don't know his financial situation. He's currently on loan at Bordeaux, although may have actually gone back to them, but actually back to Celtic now. Bodou, well, we know we're not allowed him anymore because we tried. Haaland is a player who's currently out on loan that I would be interested in signing perhaps at some point in the save. He's been banging the goals in real life for Salzburg. And stats look decent at 19 years of age. I could... No, if he's... Why has he gone back to the club? No, he's back at the club. He's not on loan anymore at Girona. But I can't sign him yet. Smith Rowe, I'm going to say no to. It's a definite no from me, I'm afraid. And then Rodrigo, as I mentioned, I accidentally tried to sign him on loan. And they wanted £94,000 a week. And I can't afford to pay all of his wages. And even if I could, I wouldn't really want to. Well, they're not interested in loaning him now. Well, it let me go into... it let me earlier. So, I'm going to try and... Fine. I did wonder why it gave me the option to sign. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Rafael Leao hopefully will say yes to me. Although we've still got to wait for his response to that. And it's given me... I've got Podolski now. We signed him on a pre-contract. But the Japanese season must be on a calendar basis rather than a European football season basis. So we've got Lucas Podolski now. Well, that's something I wasn't expecting to see until next season. So I'm definitely pleased with that. Thank you very much. Lucas, right. Some long shots incoming, I think. Do I start him? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's a positive, though. Very much so. Right. No word yet about Rafael Leao accepting or rejecting my loan bid. Hopefully he accepts it. I'd be devastated if he turns me down. Now, can we get victory here against Wolfsburg? Play the remaining 2 games of the month in tomorrow's episode. Ehizibue gets himself booked. I never know whether to call him Ezibue, which is what I would pronounce it. And then in commentary, Derek Ray calls him Ehizibue. So I found myself calling him both. They get a penalty through Mali after 65 minutes. Podolski, the king of Köln! 1-1! Lucas, on his debut as he returns to the club, bangs in an equaliser. We get a point against Wolfsburg. Oh, yes, boys. I'm delighted with that. Cielo's up to 77 rated as well. Good to see him growing more. Short passing up to 79. Good to see a young player with decent passing growing. And Rafael Leao is available for selection now as well. It's not been the most perfect window, because I would have loved to have sold Terodde and Modesta. We still could sell Terodde and Modesta, so maybe I could yet try and sign a wide player. If you have any other options for wingers, then do let me know. I'm not going to be able to buy someone like Emmanuel Dennis, and they won't let me loan him, so I'm going to have to rely on a loan signing out wide. Who could I loan out wide? I'm not sure at this stage, but still no bids for Modesta or Terodde. Right, I'm gonna save it there. We shall come back tomorrow and hopefully be able to get something done. But I'm pleased with what we've done so far. I'm pleased with what we've done so far because I could utilise Leao's pace out wide. I could do that. Podolski, now we know we can use him. Certainly I feel slightly happier as well. Right, I'm okay. I think we're okay. We're currently 9th. We are 7 points behind Schalke. That's not insurmountable. It's not insurmountable. Paderborn's still waiting for their first victory. I think they're doomed. But the relegation picture is still very much open for a number of teams there. We aren't in that relegation picture at present. And I'd like to think we'll kick on in the second half of the season rather than fall away. Right. Thank you very much for watching. King of Köln bags himself a goal on debut. I'll see you tomorrow.